Derp, you already know what it is. It's your boy Smoove, the Blaq Kennedy, and my man's M. Dot. This is Stepping to the Light, Stepping to the Mic. Welcome, everybody. How y'all doing this morning?
Good. Chilling, living it, loving it. My anniversary was yesterday, so I enjoyed that greatly.
That's right. Congratulations.
3 years.
Do you know what today is?
It's our anniversary.
Nah, that's what's up, man. That's beautiful, bro. 3 years now, right?
Yeah, 3 years, 3 down, a million more to go.
Yes.
And then into eternity, into the heavens as well. So I loved it, man. It was a good time. We went out to eat. We enjoyed each other. We were nostalgic. We were loving, and that's what really what matters when you try to keep that spice, especially with a child in the play now.
Yeah, I can imagine, yo. I'm going to keep that in mind for when I cross that bridge one of these days.
Yeah. I think when you cross that bridge, brother, you're gonna make a big splash, with the person that you want to cross that bridge with, and you guys are gonna have some trials and obstacles and everything like that. But that's what makes you, an astounding couple when you get past those type of things.
No doubt.
And you don't call it quits. You don't give up. Just like in boxing, you got 12 rounds to go. If you get knocked down the first round, you got to keep that ass up and keep going until the 12th round. So I kind of look at it like that. It's an everlasting fight with everything.
But so you just a man full of analogies this morning. Okay, all right, I can dig it.
I put it together sometimes. It comes out nice. So
that boy feeling good this morning. I understand. Yeah. I understand. Well, look here. We have a special guest this morning. Miss Jesie P with JNP Beauty, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Can you elaborate and let us know, what JNP Beauty is, and maybe give a background on who you are?
So my name is Jesie. I am a pro makeup artist. I specialize in bridal makeup, brows, and body waxing. So my name was actually Glam by Jesie, but when I actually moved into a salon location, I switched to something that I would take more seriously, that people would actually look and be like, oh, wow, that's her, and so I picked JNP Beauty. JNP Beauty is basically just my initial. It's Jesie Nicole Pasamonte, and I added the beauty in the end with all of the beauty aspects that I do with makeup, brows, and lashing. It's all of that tied in one. So yeah, that's why I came out with the name.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. Pasamonte, that's a beautiful name. Where does that come from?
So where does that come from? In the Philippines. I moved here when I was 8 years old. So it was really hard living in the Philippines. I tell my mom every day, I can't imagine life living there right now because, it's so hard to live in a different country, especially in poverty. We do not have a lot of money in the Philippines, and our house and everything there is very different from here. So I'm always very blessed to be here in the United States and living life and really doing everything that I was meant to do. Yeah.
Do you miss the Philippines at all? Do you miss that environment?
All the time, but I do not see myself living there. I love it there, but I just don't see myself living there right now with COVID and stuff. I would love to visit family members, but it's really hard with traveling and stuff. It's too restricted there.
Yeah, I could imagine. And what part of the Philippines are you from?
Manila.
That's the main mainland, right? Or main island, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. What was that?
So Smoove.
Honda is the city that we lived in. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So Smoove, do you want to tie in, how you believe about this so-called mafia when you were your prior duties? Do you want to tie that in, bro?
See, because I want to, right? I want to. And you know what? Nah, I think I got a good rapport with the Filipino mafia. You know what I'm saying? Because I work with some of those cats. So it's always been this thing, right? I was in the Navy for 8 years, and I don't know, maybe the first couple of months of me being in the military, right? You hear about the Filipino mafia. And I'm like, oh man, y'all just making stuff up, whatever. Fast forward, I meet Judea and Matt in where were we at, bro? Was that Orange County, Anaheim?
Yeah. In Cali.
Yeah, so I meet them and I asked Judea and I'm like, is this stuff real? She's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be meeting somebody out here now. Like, what do you mean? What you mean supposed to be meeting somebody? Am I supposed to be here? I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? But no, that's cool. Just talking shit. Yeah,
you should come see it one day.
You know what? I actually would love to. I would definitely. And the food, you know what? Filipino food is freaking phenomenal. I know my favorite is and correct me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but lechon kawali. Lechon kawali.
Never heard of that.
Nah, it's like
you talking about lechon kawali.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you! You even know better than me.
Hey.
What is lechon kawali?
Yeah, lechon. So it's pig. It's pig. Yeah, lechon kawali. It's like that. I don't even know how you would describe it. Yeah, it's the fried pork, and it's like crispy.
Is it the top of the pig foot? Is that it or crispy pata?
Pata, I think the pata is the foot.
Okay.
Man, let me find out. Smoove be getting into the Filipino cuisine.
Bro, I'm telling you, yo, it turned me out. I mean, I love food, period, right? But when I got put on the Filipino food, that was like a whole new, genre of food or genre of combination of foods that I had been missing out on. Yeah. And it's amazing. Oh, sisig, you don't even get me started.
Like a lot of people think it's like Mexican food. I'm like, no, it's not Mexican.
Nah, it's no comparison. Like
it's hard to describe it. I'm like, I don't even. It's just really good. It's not spicy. It's not too spicy, but it's good.
Yeah, I think the food has a lot of influences from different cultures. So you have the Spanish influence, you have the Asian influence. So I think it's very it's a nice fusion and a medley, but it's its own thing in its own right though. Like it's its own thing. It's its own thing.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, well that's what's up. So JNP Beauty, right? So how long have you had this going, right?
So overall I've been doing makeup for 6 years, and then I started freelance, like traveling to other people 5 years now. I think it's about 5 years. I started with Glam by Jesie, and I recently, actually this February will be a year with JNP Beauty. So that's very exciting. So it's also like a whole new growth that I can't believe it's already been a year and so much has happened this whole year. And I just know like so much more is going to happen for my business with JNP Beauty. So
that's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. You speak that into existence.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. Think positive always.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So Jess, what is I know they got like a wedding season, off season. What's your busiest time of the year when it comes to the business?
Around this time, September was definitely one of the busiest I've ever experienced, like as a makeup artist, especially because being consistent with it now. I'm actually a full-time makeup artist. I don't work for anybody else. I work for myself.
All right, go ahead, girl. Do your thing. That's what's up.
Clap. I'm gonna clap it up.
Word up.
Business woman. Hey, clap it up for her.
It's the best decision I've ever made. I never thought to see that I can live, make a living out of being a makeup artist, but it's definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made. Like I've been happy, and I am still in school, but now I have a plan for like what I'm going to school for. When I first graduated high school, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I went to college and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I tried to do it and it didn't work. So then I made a plan for myself and I was like, okay, don't waste money, because I definitely wasted a lot of money my first year of college. And then once I figured out the plan, I pursued it, and now we're here. And September, so back to being busy. September is the busiest of the year so far with wedding seasons. A lot of brides are trying to get their weddings in September, October, November. So I've actually been working every Saturday with wedding season until the end of the year, which is very exciting. So yeah, it's been a very busy season, but I love it. each and every day. I love to work with brides, the hustle and just the, timing and like being on the move all the time. Like I was the other day, I think it was Saturday, I was working from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. and the only
God damn.
the only time I sat down was 6 o'clock. That was the first time I sat down the whole 12-hour shift because, doing makeup, you're always on your feet. And yeah, it was the biggest bridal party I worked. It was 14 people. And then I had other clients on top of that.
So hold on. Let's tie all this in, right? Because Smoove doesn't know how old you are. I do, because we're family. You know what I mean? Explain, tell him how old you are so he can kind of see like this matureness at this age is incredible. Go ahead, Smoove. Go ahead and guess how old she is.
How old do you think I
am? I'm gonna say, man, I honestly I really don't know. I want to say at least 21.
Close, 22. I'll be 23.
22?
Yeah, I'll be 23 in March. Yeah, a lot of that maturity definitely has to do with like, growing up in the Philippines and seeing how difficult it is to really make a living out there and to just seeing like, not appreciate all of the hard work that comes into like having the opportunity to do the stuff you can do here. It's just insane to me. Like I cannot see myself like missing an opportunity and not taking it. Like I would be living in the Philippines right now and I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff that I'm doing now. Right. I wouldn't be able to have a job because it's so hard to find a job there. I wouldn't be able to transport from one location to the other, let alone like have good friends and families that's going to support you. And yeah, it's just very mind-blowing to me. So I always tell myself like, thank God each and every day for things that you're able to do because without him, you wouldn't be here right now.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Wow, that's real. So, all right. So you said you've been doing this for about a year now, right?
Doing with the JNP as JNP Beauty, yeah.
Okay.
6 years total.
6 years total. Okay. So when you started, right? Like, how was that journey? Like, from starting at the very beginning to where you're at now. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so when I first started, I was in middle school, I believe. Yeah, I started doing people's makeup.
What?
Grade. Yeah, I started to get into makeup in 8th grade. I didn't go to school for makeup. I'm actually a self-taught makeup artist. I watched YouTube every morning and night, and I learned through literally watching videos and practicing on my family members. Like I would literally do my cousin's makeup and like, let me do your makeup. Or every time they had any events, I would do it for them and stuff. So it was very hard. It's still very difficult to, get my name out there because with Instagram and like knowing how to market your brand and stuff, it's so much that goes into it that I'm actually learning right now. But when I first started, I made my own business page, which was Glam by Jesie at the time. And I was uploading pictures. Every time I did somebody's makeup or every time I did my makeup, I would upload pictures. So the consistency will really show you how much growth you're gonna have in having your own business, because if you're not consistent with it, you won't really see a difference. Like if you keep sticking to the same spot that you're at before, you're not going to go anywhere. So you really have, I tell my friends all the time that's starting out their business, girl, just be consistent. Even though it's going to be hard, people might not see it, just keep doing it because somebody is seeing it. Mm-hmm. Somebody is seeing that they can't believe that you started at this point and you're right here right now. So consistency has a lot to do with it. I took a year off doing makeup because I was in school. And at that time I had like 4 jobs. So I wasn't able to, I loved having multiple incomes back then.
You sure you're not Jamaican? Yo, you got that Jamaican work ethic, man. I'm telling you. But then that's Filipinos have a strong work ethic as well. Like your mom and dad, work ethic. Your mom and dad, they're hustlers as well. They get to the money too. They get to the bag. Don't shoot them short. They get to the bag.
They motivate me so much because just watching them, giving us everything that we want, even though they technically probably can't afford it, but they're willing to do whatever it takes to give us what we want so that we're happy, so that we're, satisfied and that we feel appreciated. But that all that materialistic stuff doesn't matter. You know, it's just me being able to see them, you know, work hard, and like it really gives me an opportunity to be able to do that one day when I have kids, and like, you know, work hard for them and like give them everything that they need, and then for them to pass it on, you know, the next generation. It's the work ethic, just keep passing it on.
That's right, creating that cycle. That's
Absolutely. Dope. I love that. I love that. I love that.
But yeah, so consistency and is very important. And then now I'm doing the same thing, and I'm just trying to figure out ways I can manipulate Instagram to, you know, get my name out there more, and Facebook is really big.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I probably means I should jump back on Facebook then.
Yeah, Facebook is very, it will literally get your name out there. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out myself, because Instagram and Facebook is like connected. So a lot of like, it depends on like the type of person you're trying to target. If you're targeting people who are more in like certain age groups, if they're like from like, you know, the 40s to the above and stuff, Facebook will be that for you. And Instagram is more towards like, you know, our age and stuff. But being able to have connection to both will really help your business grow. Like people will hear it. Like people will see that you're there and they're like, oh snap, let me click on that. Like one click, and then it will get you really far.
Noted.
Hey, Smoove, we need a Facebook page, bro. We're gonna have to dive. We're gonna have to dive in, man.
Every time you upload a video, just put the link on the Facebook thing, and people can watch it. It goes straight to YouTube. It'll increase your views and all of that stuff. It will help you all in one, because everything is connected. Like, especially if you get, you know, popping on YouTube, money.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? They always say you can't learn from the younger generation. I'm learning now,
bro.
I'm learning a lot.
Hey,
Jesus,
these younger kids have learned social media so well. Like,
they can manipulate it,
bro. I'm telling you, like it's 5-year-olds that'll make reviews on toys that they playing with, and they getting money. I don't understand.
Look, my cousin, her younger brother, right? Shout out to Dodie Jr. He said to me, he was like, Matt, he was like, I love your content, but you guys gotta start putting out some clickbait stuff. I said, what the hell is clickbait? What are you talking about?
So true.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, look, that one episode you did, you should have did your title like this, and you would have increased your views. He was like, watch this video. And I was just absorbing knowledge like a sponge. And our age difference is, I'm 20, about to be 29. He's like 17, 18. That's a big age difference. But he has immersed himself into YouTube, watching videos, everything like that. So it's like, to him, that's like a knowledge that he's just amassed, that I'm like, wow, like, give me all of it. Give me all that, everything you're talking about. It's crazy. Like, they know social media like the back of their hand. Like, it's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, clickbait will definitely help with, like, you know, views, because if people see it and they're interested in it, like, they're like, I want to see it, you know, even if it's just one click and they don't watch the whole video, that one click will literally increase your views up.
It
has to do with like the description you're putting on there. Like, if you were to tag, like, say if you had like music background, you would tag that on there and stuff. And like, I don't know how like the YouTube analytic, like whatever the word is called, I don't know how it works, but when I was doing YouTube starting out, that's actually what I did first, was doing YouTube, creating videos, editing stuff, and then that's when I came to doing Instagram. But when I was doing YouTube, like, your clickbait pictures definitely has a lot to do with how people will, like, you know, view your product, view your stuff, and the length of the video has to do with it as well, but it's different with podcasts. But yeah, it's just YouTube and research, and it will literally show so much stuff for you, like, educational wise.
Damn, I had a good question and that joint just slipped out of my head.
Idiot.
God dang it. It's gonna come back to me though. Go ahead, Smoove. Hit it with another one while I ponder for a second.
All right, no doubt. So, all right, well, let me ask you this then. With your makeup line, right? Like, what services do you provide? I know you have the makeup, your own makeup and all that good stuff, but do you go around and kind of like a concierge service type thing? You know, if somebody call you up, needs some makeup done, do you pull up, or how does that work?
So I am a traveling makeup artist. So if ever somebody needed, like makeup done, say in like Maryland, Philly, Virginia, I would travel to them. But I don't travel for free. It is a I do travel based on mileage. So if ever a client wanted me to travel to them, they'd pay me like the mileage to come to them. Um, but yeah, I travel for makeup. If not, if I don't travel, I'm located at Honey Salon in Delaware City, and that is my salon home right there. So if ever I have like clients for makeup, bridal trials, lash lifts, brow appointments, or body waxing, they normally would go there. But some people would prefer to get ready at their home, and that's perfectly fine. I will travel to them for that. And
Okay.
yeah, no matter how far the distance is, my goal is to actually travel across the world, like getting on a plane, doing makeup. That I'm working towards like doing that right now. So hopefully by sometime next year, I'll be able to have my big wedding.
Oh, it's happening.
You
It's
will.
happening.
Yeah, you will.
It's happening. It's happening. So let me ask this one question real quick, right? Because I know you, so and I always revered you as being a really good singer, and I know that's your passion, and then we're going back now. So because her mom's a beautiful singer, like her mom. Ah, wow. Like when we do karaoke, when we come over, and Filipinos love karaoke.
Yeah.
So when we go over there, when we do karaoke, she kills everybody, right? Now, is that still your passion to sing, or has makeup kind of has taken over that passion, that drive? Because I remember when you was singing, you was singing, like doing covers all the time. What like has makeup taken over that? Have you just decided I'm doing makeup now?
Yeah, makeup has definitely taken over that. I love to sing, but I think I just sing for fun. Like I find peace, but I don't really see myself pursuing it as a career. I mean, I did at once when I was like in 6th grade, but like to me now, I feel like makeup is where I find my happiness. It's something that I enjoy. I don't look at it as a job. I look at it as a career that I'm literally living. Like I dreamed of doing this and now I'm doing it. And like with singing, I mean, I love to sing, it makes me happy. It brings family together. Like he said, we love karaoke. That is one thing that we literally unites us all at one, is when we're all just down singing, listening to each other singing. I love to sing, but I don't really see it as a, career that I would pursue later on. Maybe if I travel, but I don't know. No, not right now.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, nah, that's cool. That's funny. Every time I went to a Filipino restaurant, right, they always had a karaoke TV show playing in the stores every time. Like it never failed. It was always somebody singing. I didn't know that was really a thing though, but that's what's up.
It is.
Yeah, nah, they love to sing, man. Like I said, her mom. Your mom used to do professional singing in Japan for a couple years, right?
She traveled to Japan for a couple years, and she was actually famous in Japan at the time. And I don't remember if she sang at a bar or what, but she had her own music. I don't think she has it anymore. I don't know if she remembers it, but she used to have her own like um song in Japan. It was in Japan. But yeah, I've never heard it, but she's a beautiful and talented like singer to me. Like I love her voice. It's so unique.
Yeah, it's yeah. She sung a Anita Baker song one time when we were doing karaoke.
Excuse me.
Anita Baker, man. Like they love like her, my mother-in-law. They have beautiful voices. I don't care what nobody said. Their voices are really good, and I'm hearing them sing, and I'm like, yo, y'all could have been a nice little duo. You know what I mean?
Dang.
But it's just it probably wasn't in the cards for them. But her mother pursued it, and she became well off in Japan. But that just speaks to that line of that work ethic and using that passion and filling it into something else. So you had the singing first, and you use that passion for singing, you drove it into the makeup, and that just speaks high volume. To me, it does.
Yeah. And I actually started getting into makeup because of her. Because when I was little, I would watch her and my older cousin Nikki. I would watch them do makeup because at the time they were so into it, and I would just be so intrigued. Like, can I borrow it? Then I would steal it and stuff. But yeah, that's what drove me into actually like getting into beauty and watching YouTube and learning how to do it with, every skin type from like palest to like, your darkest complexion, and like being able to give what my clients want, no matter what their color is. Like I want to be able to give it to them all,
And I love that, because some makeup artists, when they do their broadcasting, or you see them on YouTube or whatever, they always have a fair skinned person and they use that as their model. You go on your page, you see from the whitest of the white to the darkest of the dark. And a lot of people don't know that, like Filipinos, they're very different in complexion. Like you can have a very pale Filipino person, or you can have a very dark skinned Filipino person. So that's great. I like that you have that talent to utilize different models and different skin tones as well.
I actually started, when I first started, my first client was a darker complexion girl, and like that's how I started doing makeup, was through like from the darkest to the fairest. And like I love that I was able to start from like, knowing how to work with darker complexions, because it is very different compared to, working with someone who is more on the fairest side. But right. Now I'm able to actually know like how to work with both, which I love. And in between.
Okay, let me hit you with this. So I know you said, your future goal, and I wrote it down. Your future goal is to be a world traveling, world class makeup artist, right? Go travel and do other states, do other countries, even maybe go back to the Philippines, do makeup there, big time. So what are your next future business endeavors? Because I know you're always thinking about, all right, I'm getting all this revenue. I invested back in my business, but if I have a little bit more, are you thinking about the next step? Like, are you looking into maybe creating another business, real estate, those type of things? What's percolating in your mind at this point?
One of my biggest ultimate goal is to actually own my own med spa.
Med spa, explain what is that?
A med spa is basically like where you go for all of your beauty needs. So if you were to get like Botox, fillers, tattoo removals, that's where you would go. Essentially, my main goal is to actually become an aesthetic nurse. So I'm in esthetician right now, and I'm actually going to graduate in December. I finished I started with going to school for nursing. I finished 2 years of my prerequisites in nursing. So the only thing I have to do right now is to wait till March to register to the program. So once I have my RN license, and I already have the esthetician part, like, knocked off the list,
right,
I'll be able to actually work for somebody who's at a med spa, and then one day have my. So, yeah, one of my biggest goals.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow! So we're talking about goals right now and future endeavors. Did you write these down and say, I'm gonna make this happen, or is this all in your mind? Like, all right, I'm a visual person, or did you write it down and say, once I write this down, I'm making it happen?
I wrote it down. I actually had somebody, her name is Teresa, it's Brandon's aunt. She also wanted to be an aesthetic nurse. I was talking to her. Me and her would like go back and forth with, what we're planning and stuff. And like, she really helped me with figuring out what I wanted to do in my career, because at the time I didn't even know what an aesthetic nurse was. I knew like all of the RNs work, like, traveling nurse, working at the hospitals, working at the home care, but I never thought that there was actually a part of beauty. Like I knew there were, cosmetology and like all of that stuff, but I didn't know about like the aesthetic nurse part. So when I figured that out, I was like, what? Medical and beauty together? I love that.
Yeah, perfect combo.
That is the best thing ever, because when I graduated high school, I was always in the medical field. Like I've always been doing medical stuff since high school. So I knew I wanted to still incorporate that in my career, just not to the fullest. Not being a nurse, not being like a doctor and stuff. But yeah, so when I figured that out, I was like, what? And then so I started my research and planning. I need to get back to planning. Like I used to have a planner all the time and I would write down on it, but I've been so busy, I haven't had time to. So all of my planning is on my phone, basically on my.
So I'm just gonna keep firing. We're gonna rapid fire these questions, right? So you said Brandon. Who's Brandon? And can you elaborate him? Can you speak about his career and everything like that, so people know, because you could tell them all these things, and then that way we can build him up as well.
Yeah, he's my boyfriend. Brandon is my boyfriend.
She's taken, guys. She's taken. Don't try it. She's taken.
He is a plumber right now, and he also does music. He raps and creates his own music, and one day he wants to pursue that, you know. But in this industry, it's so hard starting out, you know, especially in the music industry, because music is switching. You know, like now it's like different. Like rap is so different now. It's like people are attracted to like all of the negative part of music.
Yes.
Not so much more on like, you know, what it was before, positivity and like sending a message and like all of the knowledge you can actually get from the music. Now it's like switched. It's still weird. So, you know, it's hard to find like those people who will be interested in like your music, because music is different now.
And shout out to at the Beano.
Yeah,
you know, I've heard his music, and he actually is pretty good.
Oh yeah,
I ain't even gonna lie. I'll shout him out on the on my Instagram. But yeah, he is good, and I think you are right, Jesie, with the way the culture's shifting. Like now, people want to hear about, you know, you smoke this, you drink that, how it makes you feel, and all that. And then a lot of people not trying to do that. Like that's not what they're trying to do. So when he tries to come with a positive message, talking about the daily struggles of life and, you know, how to uplift and everything like that, that kind of gets not as many views as someone talking about, yeah, I smoked crack yesterday, all this negativity stuff. And it's just, it's true though. That's how the music game is though. I'm not even gonna lie. Like people revere the negative and kind of don't look at the positive in the same way.
Yeah, for sure. Man, that's unfortunate, man.
So hold on, let me wrap. Let me run this in real quick, right? So, you know, you're young, you know, very young, have a lot of intelligence, a lot of wisdom for your young age. What kind of words would you give? And I know you said before, you know, if your friends want to start a business, you would just tell them, hey, just keep with the consistency, right? What would you give to a younger person? Like, let's say you're like an 8th grade person or 9th grade or still high school, whatever, and they wanted to do their own business. What advice would you give them, since that's when you kind of started to do the makeup? What advice would you give them?
Definitely just, you know, keep working hard. And if you find something that finds you joy and happiness and it gives you this excitement that you can't explain, like do it, you know, like find ways to do it, because life is so short and tomorrow never promised. Do something that you want to do, you know, like don't worry about what other people think. You will literally have family members or friends that will not believe in you or would think like, you really think that you can, you know, live a life doing that? Like all of that stuff, like take that out of your head and just focus on yourself and focus on what makes you happy and what gives you that drive to, you know, keep going, basically.
I respect that.
I love it. And then I'm gonna hit you with another question, then we're gonna talk about your products, right? So, you know, you started makeup 6 years ago, right? You know, you started with JNP Beauty a year ago. Growing up, you said your influences were, you know, your mother and your older cousin. Was there any other like famous makeup artists that you kind of watch and you kind of mirror your techniques from that person? Because you said you watch YouTube a lot. Who was that makeup artist that kind of influenced you to say, shit, I can do this?
Nika Tutorials is one. She is from I want to say, I can't remember, UK, from the UK, somewhere in the UK. And she is a trans, and she does amazing job. Like she does really, really great makeup, and like her story and like everything that all about her is very inspiring to me. Another one is, I can't remember his name. It's been so long. Definitely not Jeffree Star.
I thought that's who you was about to say.
Patrick Ta is another one. He's an Asian makeup artist. He actually
nice.
Own, I think he's Japanese. I could be wrong, but he has really skills, and his work ethic is also very amazing and inspiring. He does really good makeup. He has beautiful products. I love his products. And yeah, I think those are about like the two. There's a couple more, but I can't remember their names because it's been so long since I watched YouTube now.
Oh wow.
There's certain ones that I watch, but it's more targeted towards like makeup artists, like, you know, doing other people's makeup. Before I used to watch like somebody doing their own makeup.
All right. So Miss Jesie, can you please talk about your products? Drop your Instagram handles, YouTube, Facebook, and then yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So my Instagram is at JNP Beauty, and same with Facebook and on YouTube. I launched my first lipstick line September 22nd. It was available for purchase on 23rd. I have 6 shades, and they're mostly focusing more towards like bridal makeup because that's what I do most is bridal, but it is targeted towards everything else that I do with like, prom, um, photo shoots and all that stuff. But yeah, so it's 6 shades and they're actually right here. This is like the packaging right here.
Oh, nice.
Clean.
Hey.
And I don't know if you can see, it's like a holographic type of like
Oh, nice.
and stuff. So here's 3 of the shades right here. This is how the packaging looks like. Right here. And then when you first open it, it's a magnetic finish.
Oh, ooh, that's nice. Ooh.
And then it just comes up like a lipstick.
Nice.
Modesty, Posy, Dreamer, Ignite, and Glam Dolls. Those are the shades that I came up with.
Okay. All right. Very nice.
So what is the pricing for these lipsticks?
$15 per lipstick. Which I think it's pretty reasonable with lipsticks. And I do in-store pickups and shipping. So with shipping, I have a $6 extra charge. But if I were to do an in-store pickup, it will be located at the Honey Salon in Delaware City, and you will get this cute little bag that has my logo sticker on it as well.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So let me ask you this, right? I got 2 more questions, then we'll tie into the current events. All right. So what are you offering for the men? Like, come on now. Like, I know makeup is for women, but come on now, the men, like, come on, what you giving us? What can we get if we walk into Honey City Salon in Delaware City? What can the men come and get? What is beneficial for us if we walk in there?
We do hair, so like if you're interested in getting a haircut, which you probably wouldn't because you guys are used to going to your barbers. But
I'm loyal to my barber.
I don't have one of those anymore, so I'm out the barbershop game for a minute.
Yeah. Well, I do waxing too. So if you were ever interested in getting a wax, say your eyebrows needed to get a little shaped up, I could wax them for you. If your armpits hair is too long,
Matt.
I mean, if I was a swimmer, then I'd say yes to the armpit waxing. But it keeps me warm at night. What can I say?
Hook your cousin up with some waxing. This man has had facial hair since 11. All right, I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
it might be a straight 11. I don't know, bro. I think you had.
I started growing a beard like going from like 7th to 8th grade, and then when I got into freshman, I had a little bit of this, and then when I got like almost senior, I had a full beard in senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have good genetics on growing a beard. Like even now, even though it look a little crazy, but I've always been able to grow a beard. I can cut it now and it'll grow back in like a couple weeks. Like it's nothing. I got that the Caucasian trait where how some white folks, they able to grow a beard in just like 2 days. I got a little bit of that in me, so.
You make me sick.
What? Hey, listen, man, listen. It worked for you though, Smoove. I'm gonna tell you what, that little I don't know, that little Nick Cannon little beer right there, that worked for you a little bit.
You feel me? I mean, it only took like 29 years for that joint to get out here, but it's here though. Listen, you feel me?
You probably had to mess with like some hemp seed oil, black seed oil,
everything.
A little bit of avocado in there. Maybe it worked.
Everything. I done tried Aki oil. You know what I'm saying? Shaving it with when it's, I think they told me to shave it every day, even if I didn't have hair on my face, which that might have just been a myth.
Yeah, that's a myth, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Whatever worked. Because I need it.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The podcast.
Oh.
Wait, what happened?
Go ahead, Smoove. She said, what made us start the podcast? We never had someone ask this question before.
Wow, nice. Yeah. Wow, nice. The tables have been reversed. So I really started initially, right, I came into this really dolo, right? I just wanted to provide a platform for folks to have an open conversation, right, about anything. because I feel like in today's time, this world needs understanding from every aspect of life, right? You know, so many changes going on in the world, and I feel like that's what causes division amongst people, right? Nobody understands people's background. So that's where this all came about, right? And then also wanted to give people a chance to promote their business. And you know, it's not a lot of platforms that actually do that, right? Give people opportunities, no matter what the market is, right? It can be small, it can be big, you know, especially, you know, coming from a place like Delaware, right? Delaware doesn't get a lot of light, period, right? I mean, who do we know that's famous from Delaware besides, you know, our president?
J Media, Jamila Mustafa. She went to Dell State. Now she's a media correspondent for like BET and stuff like that.
Word?
She's from she's from Delaware. She went to Dell State. She's probably the most famous person that I in our generation that from Delaware came up, went to Dell State, did what she had to do, and then now she's a media correspondent for a bunch of different media outlets.
That's what's up. So that alone in itself, right? Like it's one person that we actually know about. But if somebody might have would have put her on from Delaware, right? Not saying that I am from Delaware, but you get what I'm saying, right? Just providing opportunity for people to come out here and talk their shit and, you know, get their name out there. So yeah, that's where that came from. And then, you know, who else? Who better than Matt, you know, would, you know, help me out with that. So yeah, that's how it came.
Oh, I apologize ahead of time if you hear a dog barking.
You are good.
Nah, you good. You good. And just to put it in for clarification, you know, our platform is, you know, for Black businesses and people of color to succeed, because we don't get a lot of recognition.
No.
When it comes to that, especially, and you are the first Filipina to be on our podcast. So shout out to y'all for doing it big, you know, but definitely it's to highlight, you know, influential Black businesses, influential people of color that are doing it right, doing it big, and, you know, definitely giving them a platform to speak and also have an understanding of different walks of life. You know, I've always been I've always had a strong proponent of, you know, you have to have an open mind to certain things. You could be closed-minded towards, you know, certain things, but not all things. You got to have an open mind to certain concepts and things like that, because that's how you really understand an individual. So yeah.
So there you go.
You got any other questions for us, JNP Beauty, Miss Jesie P?
No, I think that's it for right now. But I do have a suggestion. If you guys were ever interested in, like, you know, doing an interview with other, you know, upcoming business owners, I do have a lot of friends that are photographers who has her own clothing line, and all of that in one, you know, and yeah, I can give them, you know, your information and let them know, like, hey, if you're ever interested.
That's love. Absolutely. Yeah. We're gonna say yes all day to
that. Yeah.
We're gonna say yes all day to that.
Yeah, whoever you know that's starting anything, and wants some type of exposure, please let us know.
Yeah, of course.
Please let us know.
And I got one last question before we turn to the current events. Now, you know, coming up with your business, your makeup line and everything like that. And I know you love doing stuff for the family. You love giving out, you know, free makeup and all that good stuff. Now, I know a problem when it comes to starting a small business is, you know, a lot of friends and family will come to you and say, hey, Jesie, come on, like, you know, $15 for that. You run it to me for $5. I know you got a big heart. Like, let's get that straight. And you love giving back and everything like that. But do you run into that family friends discount? People trying to run you for lower than what your price is?
I do run into that issue, and I feel like it's also me being so giving to people that
stop doing that.
I know having to charge my family and stuff, but I'm working towards, you know, like not being that way, because I have to keep that business aspect in mind. Like, I'm starting out right now, and like I invested so much into this business that like giving out free services is really not benefiting me at all.
No,
but it's like, I don't know, it's just so hard for me, because I'm like, I'll just give it to you for this, don't worry about it, you know. But I don't know, I need to work on it. It's something I had to work on. It's like
and I think, you know, we our last episode we recorded, we had another business owner on there as well, and you know, it's a different contrast, because when we asked her the same question, female business owner, we said, what about the family and friends discount? And her answer was shocking because her family does above and beyond to give extra. So they'll pay twice the amount. They'll pay this, that, and the third. And I get it. Every family is different. But you kind of see that, like, some families will give more than other families and those type of things. Like, I've always been a strong proponent of, all right, bro, I'll pay that price. Whatever the price is, don't give me the discount. I'll pay that full price. Now, sometimes if it's my friend or somebody and they trying to run me like a crazy price, like if I wanted to do like photography and they wanted to charge me an hour and they talking about $300, I'm like, bro, that's great. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna tell you that straight to your face. Like, that's ridiculous. But it is what it is. And I respect that. I think if you come with a different mindset on it and, start to say no or whatever, I think people are going to respect that for you.
Yeah.
Put the heart aside, let the mind speak when you come to that.
And I'm glad you said that because I am working towards it, but it's like, I just don't know how to approach it, so
I can do it for you.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you. You can count on me. I'm your brother-in-law. I can do it for you now. You can count on me. I'm always available. If you need somebody to say no, I'm the guy. I'll say it right there with a straight face. No.
What happened? I feel you.
All right, so moving on, we're gonna talk about these topics real quick. Hold on, let me pull them up. Okay, all right. So the first topic we're gonna talk about, and I think this really affects everybody. We kind of want to get your take on it. COVID-19. Very detrimental. I lost somebody from this COVID-19 pandemic. I know a lot of people have. People are still struggling with their elders being in these homes and everything like that from the COVID-19. The vaccines. I think we're moving in a time where it's most likely going to be mandatory within the next few months, 6 months. Are you for the mandatory vaccines? Are you against it? Like, give us your opinion on it. And like I said, we open-minded. We're not judging you at all, whatever you think. Love is love, and we really don't care what you think, but we kind of want to get your perspective on it.
Oh wait, you broke off for a second. But
oh, sorry.
I'm definitely not for mandatory vaccines. Vaccination was never, mandated to anybody. So at least that I know of. So it's like the thought of like COVID, one of the biggest outbreak that we've had, like, and it's like, it's mind blowing to me. It's like, why are you mandatorying it? There's so much story behind it that I'll like, there has to be some reason why they're mandatorying this, like something that is not right. Something doesn't make sense. Like, they're doing this because they want to control us. Like, I feel like it's all about control and power. And it's just like, I just don't get it. It makes me crazy.
Oh, spicy.
Spicy as hell. I like that.
I like that. But I do respect your response, and I think I'm on that caveat as well when it comes. And I'll get Smoove's opinion as well, but I think I'm on that same caveat with COVID-19. The flu vaccination is not mandatory. You can get the flu. You don't have to get the flu, but people die from the flu every year. The numbers don't change, and so it's the same amount. It's always steady, and there's always a new flu strand. I think what COVID is falling into the aspect of, all right, cool. We created a vaccine in less than a year. Now we're going to force people to take. Now we're going to have people take it, and now it's affecting jobs as well. If you guys like are in the news or whatever, a lot of hospitals, healthcare organizations, they're letting go of a lot of their nursing employees because they're refusing to take the vaccine. And it's crazy to think that people that worked in the pandemic, in the thick of it, all last year, now if they say, I don't want to take it because they've seen what it can do to people, now you're firing those same soldiers, those same people that stood in the front line and said, I'm going to put my life at risk to save this person or aid them. Yeah. But now you're letting them go because they don't want to. They refuse it. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's taking away our First Amendment, which is freedom to press, freedom for protest, freedom for everything. If you start limiting our freedoms, and the government stands in, I mean, what more can you do? What more are you going to be allowed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah. It's even crazier that like medical professions are literally leaving their jobs after working for so many years because of somebody mandating them to get something that they don't, approve of. It's just crazy to me. Like, I'm all for like, protecting your family, making sure that they're safe, but it's your choice at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like the president of the United States shouldn't make that choice for us.
No. But I'm not gonna allow Sleepy Joe to make a choice for me. He sleeps half the time. I'm not gonna allow it. I'm not gonna allow it. I'm not gonna allow a man that says incomplete sentences and
doesn't know
gonna tell me, well, back in my day, I used to shave my legs and stand straight and all. Like, I don't even know half the stuff he be saying sometimes. Yeah. I'm not gonna allow that man to deem me to take a vaccine. No way. Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead, Smoove. Let me get your opinion, brother.
I mean, I think we're all on the same page, right? And it's about protecting your rights. You have the right to do literally anything you want in the States, in a sense, right? But having the option of taking a vaccine or not is one of your rights. And the fact that they're trying to, press that on people, it makes for a scary situation. But we're also living in like unprecedented times, right? Like a lot of stuff that's been happening within the past couple years, right? We've never seen before. I want to say the last time that the world went through a major pandemic like this might have been the Spanish flu.
Yeah, back in the 1900s, early 1900s.
Yeah, I think that started in like 1918, if I'm not mistaken. But the crazy part about that, right? That pandemic only lasted for like 2 years. And I don't think there was ever really like a cure, or not a cure, but a vaccine that came out either. Mm-hmm. Folks was really just masked up. Matter of fact, I saw an old picture the other day from back then during the pandemic. These folks had a mask on, right? But then they also had a sign that said, keep your mask on or go to jail, right? And I find that funny because, fast forward, here we are in 2021. And it's like, people don't take the stuff as serious. But I feel like maybe if those rules from back then were implemented now, if this COVID thing was really real, then the numbers wouldn't be as high as they are now because people was taking it a lot more serious. I think the problem today is people have too much access to information.
Mm-hmm. Whether right or wrong.
Exactly. Right or wrong. Right. And that's the problem, right? Like nobody actually knows what the hell is going on. Right. And you can think that you have a credible source, but where is that source actually coming from? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these mandatory vaccines, I'm not hip to that, or I'm not hip to it. I'm not a fan of it. And it's going to make things harder moving forward. Like you were saying, Matt, like, going to certain places or whatever, and you have to show your vaccine card now. It's like, yo, I mean, take my social security number while you at it. I don't like, exactly. It's really weird. It's really weird, but hey.
All right, so I guess we're all pretty much on the same page, with similar opinions. Now let's dive into another topic. We have a new president, Mr. President Joe Biden, senator for Delaware for numerous years. He's a president now, and one of his things when he was running was student loan debt and trying to erase it. Those type of things. Do and this question goes to you, Jesie, and to Smoove as well. And then I'll tie into my opinion after. But do you guys think that Joe Biden should pay off student loan debt for individuals?
Yes. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like yes, but at the same time, no, because I feel like every time they're giving something, it's always something back that we have to give back in return. I feel like never just to give. There's always something else that, I gave you this. Like, now it's time for you to pay it back. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
Ain't nothing in life free type thing.
That's how I look at it. I mean, it would be nice to, be debt free. But at the same time, it's like, why do they care if we're debt free? You know.
What's the hidden agenda?
There's something else. You want something else in return.
Go ahead, Smoove.
I think that they should. I think it should be a thing, right? Because this is the way I look at it. If the sole purpose of humans is to, like not revamp the world, but can constantly change the world in many aspects and many, job fields or whatever, then why isn't education free?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I mean, these are the people that's going to be running the world, running the future, right? Doctors, makeup artists, freaking probation officers, whatever the case may be, right? Any job, these are things that these are skills that people need in order for the world to continue moving on. And I find it interesting, right? Because over in Spain or over in Europe, period, right? It's a lot of countries over in Europe where healthcare is free and school is free, right? You graduate from high school, you go to school or you go to college next few years for free. As long as you pass, right? You're good to go. A lot of those folks over there are well educated. Now, getting a job might be a little harder over there, right? But either way, you know what I'm saying? You have that necessary knowledge for you to get a decent paying job and take care of your family. So I think I tie all that in to say student debt shouldn't be a thing. Pay these people and let's keep it going.
Okay, so I got 2 yeses for Joe Biden to spend money and pay these debts. So, I think I'm gonna tackle this from a different approach. I do believe as well that student loan debt should be paid because, I mean, we were promised, when I was coming up, when I went to college, 4 years, then I did another 2 years to get my master's degree. I have a master's of science and administration of justice, right? So to me, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm a graduate. I'm definitely gonna my now the field is gonna be open for me to get high paying job. I think the standard now is, a master's degree is nothing. The standard now is unless it's into something in a STEM field. We got to understand STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Those degrees matter. Those are the degrees that matter the most. Mm-hmm. In that regard, because they advance how we look at things to this day and age. And I think, when I was going to school, I thought, man, once I get this graduate degree, I'm going to be making a shit ton of money, and it didn't happen. And now I'm looking at it where I'm in the whole $65,000 in debt, and I think that's, to me, I'm never going to be able to pay that off ever. Because you gotta look at it. You have a job.
You will.
I'm gonna say never on this one, because I'm gonna be honest, right? When you graduate college, right? This is how they hit you. When you graduate college, or you finish college, or you stop for whatever. You have 6 months, and then they'll start hitting you with, all right, you gotta start paying this, right? Mm-hmm. They'll give you a payment amount, whether it's federal, private loans, Department of Education. They'll give you a payment amount for $400, $500 a month. Graduate out of college or whatever. If you went to school for a year and whatever, right?
Yeah.
How are you able to pay that if you don't have the job necessary to fund you to pay that money? What are you able to do?
You're right. It's a messed up situation.
So if we look at it, right? 18 years old, college, or you about to get into college, they'll give you a loan for like $20,000, $30,000, right? 18 years old, go to a bank, try to get a business loan. You're not getting it. That's the problem. That's a big problem. You'll give an 18-year-old $30,000, $40,000 in a college loan. You don't even know with the probability of him completing it or going, because a lot of people just go to college for a year and then they don't like it, they come back, right? Mm-hmm. But you won't take a chance on an 18-year-old trying to start a business, has a fluid business plan, give them that $30,000 to put into his business. They won't do that. That's the problem I have with this whole system in the regard, because you teach people that going to school, being a hard worker is what's going to get you to make the big bucks, and it's not, unless you're going to do a career in STEM. People don't know that. All these other college degrees program, they don't mean shit, man. STEM is where it's at. Going to school to be a lawyer, that's where it's at. That's where you make the big bucks. All these other stuff, criminal justice, all that, they don't translate to making a good amount of money to survive out here. And you gotta look at it, right? Sleepy Joe. I just Googled something, right? You know, because Jesie made a good point. Like, you know, it's a tit for tat thing. If they pay this off, what are we gonna have to pay in the long run, right? You made that point. I looked at how much our defense budget is for the fiscal year of 2021, right? Joe's a military man. He can agree and disagree with me on this point. Our defense budget is $753.5 billion, right? Currently, that I'm aware of, we're not in any active war. Currently, I don't see us feuding with any futile states. Currently, I don't see anybody declaring war on the United States military or the United States as a country. Why is our defense budget so high? Why do we put so much money in our defense budget when we can put it towards other things? And I get it. You know, the other countries you spoke of, Spain, France. You know, France is a country where you go to school, you take the college entrance exam. If you do well on it, you pass it. But get this, that exam is extremely hard, extremely difficult to pass. So not a lot of people pass it to go to college. The US would never do something like that, because you know why? They want everybody to be in debt. Why would I do an exam and pay for you to go to school? I want everybody to be in debt. I want you to be in debt until, you know, the end of time. And then those countries also have higher taxes they pay as well. Canada is another country where you have free healthcare. You also pay over 30 to 50% in taxes. So you're paying into that system. And I don't think the US, to me personally, I don't think the US will ever try to get into a system where they have to pay 50% of their check goes to taxes. They just won't. People won't do it because they're just not making enough to actually say, "Hey, we'll do this." And I know that was a long story, long caveat, but my position is yes, Biden should find a way to pay for this. And if we go back to the presidential campaign when it was Biden versus Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders was my guy, and I say this all the time. You know, his plan was very different in the sense he was going to do something with Wall Street, tax them a lot of money because, you know, we're a capitalistic country, and then use that money that he taxed them with to pay on our loans, student loans, and eliminate the debt. I don't know what the hell Biden is doing now. I know he's relieved some debt for people that went to those shoddy colleges, like those nonprofit, for-profit colleges, like DeVry and all those other ridiculous colleges that your credits wouldn't transfer or anything like that. But yeah, I think there needs to be a criteria we face, and we got to get that loan paid somehow, some way. You know, I don't know what it would be. I don't know what to do, but I would love the help in that sense.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like when it comes to a solution like that, right, that would cause for a drastic change in the system all across the board, right?
Absolutely.
Because, like, I was thinking about it the other day. Why is it that, you know, the people that are in entertainment get paid the most money, right?
Oh man, here we go.
But when it comes to people whose job actually is super important, right? Like police, fire department, teachers, you know, you name it, right? They don't get paid that well. Why is it that, you know, the roles are like that? Why shouldn't those people who are pretty much getting paid to save the world or save, you know, people in a crisis or anything like that, or teachers, the ones that's educating, you know, our future generation, why is it that they're not getting paid the big bucks and that these entertainers are, right? Now, I say that to say, you know, the entertainers, you know, these people that are making over six figures, right? They're making all this money, tax their asses. they're getting paid all this money. The least they could do is, take a higher, pay higher taxes, right?
They do.
I need more.
Not because you got to look at it, right? There was a story that came out, right? And I'll tie it in. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world right now, right? Mm-hmm. There was a story that came out. He paid his federal taxes. He paid the same amount as a school teacher. The tax is a game. If you know how to manipulate it, you can manipulate it to work for you. Mm-hmm. Now get it, right? Athletes and stuff like that, they get taxed like 50%, 60% of their check, like it's taxed and goes to taxes or whatever, right? But they still getting paid a lot of money, and it goes to capitalism. This is a capitalistic society. Those jobs, the firefighter, the police department, people don't want to put money into those things. They don't want to. If you ask people right now, give them a survey and say, hey, we will increase your taxes to make a better police force. You think people are going to do it? No.
Yeah, you're right. But that's crazy though. That's the thing.
They don't care about that. They don't care about
why is and like I don't understand like people's mindset sometimes, right? Now that only makes sense to me. I'm going to pay for security, right? I'm going to pay to make sure that if something goes wrong, it's going to be some professionals that's going to come around and save me. Right. Y'all deserve the money, right? These people that we see online and on TV, sports, whatever, like, yeah, that's entertaining to us, but do y'all, like, should y'all really be making this much money?
Capitalism, you know what I'm saying? It's capitalism. Like, no one's going and supporting these different organizations, their unions. No one's putting money into those things. So you got to look at it. You would go out and buy a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, no question, right? Because you're going to support that team you love, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to your local firefighters or police union and donating money to them to add to their legal fund or add to their discretionary fund. No one's doing that. So it comes to capitalism. It comes to people putting money into certain things. Because I work in a position. I'm not going to name what I do, but I work in that field where if there's not money coming in, if we're not fundraising or whatever, how are we gonna build our fund? How are we gonna do that? How are we gonna be able to do this and that and the third? So a lot of it comes to it. And I always used to say, people would always say, defund the police, right? You defund the police, right? You don't have any police organization or whatever the case may be. You would have a complete anarchist state. Now, if you reverse it and say, well, police are doing this and the third, well, why wouldn't you want to pay more money to get police trained more? People always say it's the lack of training. Well, then you have to pay money to train somebody. Mm-hmm. You don't want to do that. You rather defund it and then just allow anarchists, neighborhood watchers to be your safety, and that's dangerous. That creates a vigilantism and anarchy. So I think we're at a crossroad here. But go ahead, Jesse.
Spider-Man running around and
shit. Let's get your take on it. In regards to why do you think that entertainers get paid more rather than people that work in those civil service jobs, so we speak?
I definitely agree with you. I feel like it has to do with the amount of money they pay with taxing and stuff. I don't know. I just don't understand why they, I feel like teachers especially should be making so much money because they are the reason why they're able to do all that stuff that they're doing now. Yeah. And it's it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's the world we live in,
And and we can talk about this for days, but we're gonna wrap it up. You know what I mean? I think we talked about a lot of different current events, a lot of topics. The insightful Jesie P, JNP Beauty,
JNP Beauty,
and JNP Beauty. Shout it out. Blessed us with her presence. Blessed us with her insight. Any final thoughts on the podcast? Any final words that you want to, leave for the listeners?
Definitely keep going with the podcast. I love this. It's very educational, and I feel like a lot of people will really learn a lot from it. And keep going. Keep going. Never give up. Keep going. Just keep doing it, and just keep entertaining.
Appreciate you.
Podcast is big right now.
Yeah. we trying to do what we need to do, and we appreciate your insight. If you could stay on after we're done recording, we would love that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna send our final sends off. Go ahead, Smoove, end it, brother.
Yeah. So we want to thank you again, Ms. Jesie, for blessing us with your presence this morning, and the JNP Beauty line. Can we get your social media handle one more time and let people know where they can find you at? Yeah, go.
Yeah. So my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube is all at JNP Beauty. You can find me at Honey Salon in Delaware City, or on my Instagram at JNP Beauty. Yeah, thank you.
Very nice, very nice. All right. We got M. Dot in the building. You know what I'm saying? Smoove the Black Kennedy. Yerp and derp. We up out of here. Thanks, y'all.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Word up.
Hi.